Greetings and salutations, even fellow truth seekers, and welcome old friends and hopefully some new friends. We welcome all the new subscribers I've been seeing lately. Thanks for clicking that subscribe button. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to be notified of upcoming special events and live shows. We want to take a moment to welcome in the live chat, whether you're chatting on our Rumble chat, our Twitch chat, the Facebook live feeds, the Twitter live feeds, our Instagram live. Be sure to follow me over there at Truthseekers Show, or here on YouTube. Welcome one and all. So tonight, I thought we would talk about the UFO clown show because, you know, it appears that a few weeks ago, there has been a sort of a seismic change that I noticed. And I believe that would be Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick kind of destroying this whole fake Grusch narrative, which is essentially TTSA 2.0, all the same people involved in that. You know, once Kirkpatrick comes and sort of puts out the fires of hope about all of these people that have all this evidence, and the truth is nobody has any evidence. That's the problem, right? We've got 40 whistleblowers, but apparently Kirkpatrick talked to many of those people who Grusch claimed to have interviewed firsthand witnesses, and what they had was second and third hand retellings of stories. None of them had actual evidence, which is troubling. So where are these 40 whistleblowers, I wonder? And also, it's important to point out that we are at a very pivotal point here, because we are at 262 days now. 262 days of Dave Grusch making these huge claims, you know, out of this world claims, and providing zero evidence. So again, I know I'm like a broken record, but I will ask everyone, when is the last time a whistleblower came out and made really huge claims, but then waited 262 days before he actually proved his claims were valid? I've never seen that. No one's ever seen that. So, you know, I get it. Okay, he's using whistleblower protection, so therefore he's a whistleblower by the legal or technical definition. But, you know, I really think that most people's definition of a whistleblower is somebody that has evidence. So the whole fake whistleblower clown show is coming crashing down, and it's interesting to me. We have talked in great length about the UFO clown show and this thing that I call the Cosmic Con Shuffle. What we see over and over again from many of these UFO celebrities is that they overpromise and then they inevitably underdeliver. And this is what happened with the Grusch op, which is coming crashing down. We've got 262 days where this guy's running around claiming that the government has alien bodies, non-human biologics, that the occupants of these UFOs may indeed be interdimensional beings. What does that even mean? Who knows? And interestingly, Weinstein recently said that the things that David Grusch has been saying are batshit crazy. And I can't say that I disagree with that. And, you know, if you're going to make batshit crazy allegations and crazy claims, you should have some evidence to back it up. But, you know, there seems to be this disconnect. Like, is it just that Grusch came along and seemed to confirm what everybody already believed or wanted to believe? It's the same narrative that people have been saying since the 70s. The government has crashed flying saucers. They may have bodies. They're reverse engineering them. Much of our technology came from reverse engineering of UFOs. Well, that was all proven false. That was a Corso claim. Remember that fiber optics and Kevlar and lasers and so many other things came from the Roswell wreckage. But we can look at the history of science and the development of these things and see that that is completely and totally not the case. Oh, also integrated circuits, computer chips came from the Roswell crash. I mean, I have a background in computer science, and I can show you where integrated circuits came from. Didn't come from the Roswell crash. It came from very ingenious developers who decided it would be much more efficient putting a whole bunch of transistors on a plate than using thousands of transistors to try to build something. That's where integrated circuits came from. They came from human ingenuity. But people, just like people who claim that aliens built the pyramids, this is a stupid argument that there's no evidence for. And it takes away from the ingenuity and the intelligence and the ability to create things, the imaginations of the human species. So where is Grusch's 40 plus whistleblowers? According to Danny Sheehan, they're all coming out this year, right? But weren't they supposed to all come out last year? So we get what we usually get in the UFO community. We get kick the can and hope for the best, right? Maybe they'll come out. Maybe they'll have evidence. Where are they all at? It's been 262 days that you guys have been claiming that there's 40 firsthand whistleblowers coming forward. Where are they at? Cue the excuses. Oh, well, since Grusch was treated so poorly, a lot of them decided not to become public, or, I've heard these various excuses. So the Grusch is crushed. Grusch is crushed. There's nothing there. There's no evidence. If he hasn't come out with any evidence of those claims to prove them in 262 days, what are the chances that in a month from now, he's finally going to show some evidence, 2 months from now? And by the way, in just a few short months, we'll be at a year of him making these claims. And I've often said it, and I'll keep saying it. This man has generated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for him and his friends with him telling evidence-free stories. It's just fascinating to me. And then, of course, we're going to move along to Lue Elizondo, the fake Pentagon UFO program director that never ran a Pentagon UFO program. And his book, it wasn't that long ago that we were told that what is with all the confusion? I don't understand all the confusion about the book. Why can't Lue Elizondo just say, hey, here's where the book will be published, right? I don't get it. And the original publisher of the book, I have a link that I could share. Of course, we have to wait for an ad. I love some of these print websites where they're so filled with ads you can barely read the article. Very detrimental. But, there was original reporting of the William Morrow. William Morrow sets memoir deal on Lue Elizondo. This is back in 2021. How long does it take to write a book? What are the excuses? Oh, it has to all get cleared from DOPSR. I don't think it takes 2 years, but okay. And by the way, this publisher apparently is no longer the publisher. So this was reported that William Morrow sets memoir deal on Lue Elizondo, former head of U.S. UFO program. And this may have something to do with it. They signed a deal with him, apparently under the mistaken belief that Lue Elizondo was the former head of the U.S. UFO program. What happened? Why is that no longer going to be the publisher? Is that going to be the publisher? I think these are questions for Lue Elizondo that should be asked and answered. But the problem is all you get is UFO circle jerkers who won't ask any hard questions. Elizondo spent a majority of his military career as a senior intelligence officer, says this article, hunting drug traffickers, terrorists, and spies around the world on behalf of the U.S. government and various branches of the military. In 2008, he was asked to be a part of the Pentagon's secret UFO program. In 2010, he became its director and led the effort to study UFOs around the world. So he was a director of a program that never existed officially? How do you become the director of a program that doesn't exist? These are the problems. And by the way, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a law enforcement officer, but I'm entitled to my opinion. And if you market a book on a complete and total lie, for example, claiming that you ran a Pentagon UFO program for 10 years that you didn't, I would consider that a form of consumer fraud. But that's my opinion. And I have a feeling that all these delays with the book, and I freely offer this as just my opinion and speculation, all these delays with the book have to do with how the hell are we going to say your lies to market this book without getting in trouble with the Consumer Protection Agency or something like that. You can't market a book that you claim is nonfiction based on a completely and totally false lie or a false resume that you claim. At least I don't think so. Because let me just say this. If Lue Elizondo is allowed to just say he ran a Pentagon UFO program and he didn't, and then sell a book based on those lies, then so can I. And they can't do anything to me. If nothing's going to happen to him for marketing a book falsely with false advertising, then I can do it too. We can all become the director of a Pentagon UFO program. Make up your own acronym if you want. You know, anything you want to do, anything goes, as long as you get to the UFO dollars, right? But isn't it interesting that some of this stuff is completely and totally, it's been falling apart in the last couple of weeks due to some excellent reporting by people like Stephen Greenstreet of the New York Post, one of the only mainstream media people that's actually covering the stories correctly. You know, he's not doing the circle jerk. He did start off quite a believer. Interestingly, however, he changed his tune and he started reporting accurately. So the clown show has been coming crashing down. Kirkpatrick, you know, just destroys the Grusch narrative that there's all this evidence. There isn't. And I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, he gave the evidence to the Inspector General. Well, it's been almost 2 years since he made that complaint. Where's the evidence? We're never going to see any evidence. The Inspector General is not investigating his alien body claims. They're investigating claims of reprisals against him and claims of waste, fraud, and abuse, as is their purview. It's not their job to investigate wacky people making wacky alien claims, and they're not doing that. And that's proven by an on-the-record statement. So the whole narrative is coming crashing down. And now I believe that what we're going to see is a real lull in activity. How many of these guys have been caught selling fake stories recently, right? Well, we've got Ross Coulthard. How many fake stories has he sold? We've got Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp just getting caught selling another completely and totally fake narrative. Jellyfish UFO. Wasn't a UFO. It was balloons. Kind of like their previous fake UFO. That wasn't a UFO. It was flares. So the clown show narrative has really been taking a lot of hits lately, leaving all of these people with no other choice but to do what we've described here as the Cosmic Con shuffle. You get caught selling a completely and totally fake story, you just shuffle away for a little while, lay low, then you shuffle back in with a new fake story. And that's what I believe is going to happen. But interestingly, with the way this timing is, by the way, where's Dave Grusch been? Where's Lue Elizondo been? You know, there's rumors, by the way, that Lue Elizondo is going to be on Theories of Everything with Kurt. And by the way, Theories of Everything with Kurt is a huge part of the Lue Elizondo problem. How many times did Kurt get to interview him? Why didn't he ask him the hard questions? Like, what happened to all that money from TTSA? Why didn't you build a spaceship like you promised investors? Why did you quit? And what happened to the millions of dollars that investors were bilked out of? No investors made their money back, to my knowledge. Why won't anybody ask Elizondo the hard questions? And Kurt, if you're going to take the money from doing an interview with him, then it's your responsibility to ask the hard questions people want answered. Or are you going to do another circle jerk and just take the money and run, Kurt? How many hundreds of thousands of monetized views has Kurt from Theories of Everything gotten and made money from circle jerking Lue Elizondo and refusing to ask him the hard questions? All it would take would be one interview. We could clear everything all up. Where you claim that you ran a $22 million funded UFO program. Turns out that was false. Can you explain that or clarify that for us? You promised investors while you were a member of TTSA, along with your buddies, that you were going to create a spaceship with a revolutionary power source that would change the world. What happened to the spaceship? Where's the millions of dollars that you collected? How much money did you make, Lue Elizondo, from TTSA, where every investor got bilked out of money and nobody made their money back from their investment, to my knowledge? You know, These are the questions that people should be asking Lue Elizondo. And anybody that interviews Lue Elizondo and doesn't start asking him these hard questions, we will highlight here. And we will let everybody know that you're too much of a coward to ask the real questions. But everybody knows you can't get an interview with Elizondo unless you're going to softball circle jerk him and let him just talk. And now we see how terrible Lue Elizondo's influence has gotten, because apparently there's information about his books coming out that he's claiming, oh, that's not accurate. And he has to call into the Fister Squad show. Remember, any show with the word disclosure in it is full of shit, just for your own personal reference. However, Lue Elizondo had to call in to the same garbage UFO show that went around doxing people because they didn't like a film that was made about Lue Elizondo, that went around false copyright claiming and encouraging people to false copyright claim that filmmaker who made a film critical of Lue Elizondo, which, by the way, was 99% accurate. He made one error in it, which he corrected. When's the last time one of these UFO circle jerkers corrected an error they made? It shows you that the narrative that these people are for disclosure and transparency is a complete and total joke. They want transparency, just not from them and their friends, right? And I'm going to share my screen. We're going to put my fair use banner up here. It's a transformative work. We're educating the public. These are public Twitter posts from Stephen Greenstreet about this situation with Lue Elizondo's book. He says UK bookseller at Peter Books lists UFO celebrity Lue Elizondo's memoir with a publication date of November 6, 2024. The summary of the book is printed as a civilian with high-level national security clearance, Elizondo is widely viewed as the world's most credible authority on UAP and UFOs. The guy who ran a fake Pentagon UFO program is calling himself, I'm assuming he wrote this, he's calling himself the world's most credible authority on UFOs and UAPs. The guy who lied to the New York Times in 2017 about running a $22 million funded Pentagon UFO program for 10 years that never existed. He's the most credible authority on UAP and UFOs. I'm sorry. I can't. This memoir reveals groundbreaking, even shocking details of what Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program learned. So his book details what his fake Pentagon UFO program that wasn't funded and wasn't an official UFO program learned. In other words, he's going to tell you what he learned as he was, jerking himself off, looking up UFO stuff while he worked for the Pentagon in a completely unrelated, role that had nothing to do with UFOs or UAPs. Great. Not just for humanity, but for everyone we think. For everything we think we know about our lovely place, our lonely place in the universe. The book was previously listed by other booksellers with a longer summary where Elizondo promised to reveal what's inside UFOs and if aliens are here on Earth. This brings up so many questions, like Lue Elizondo knows what's inside UFOs and he waited until he got a book deal. Boy, real transparent. If he's for disclosure, why didn't he disclose that information before? And oh, by the way, he's telling congressmen and senators the same stories that Dave Grusch is telling them. That's new. Why didn't he say those things before Grusch? So, the book previously had multiple 2023 published dates, but was never released. Elizondo's UFO claims to fame have long been debunked as false. Now, and then it gets interesting. So then Lue Elizondo apparently calls into the UFO con squad, disclosure dork fest podcast that runs around doxing his enemies for him, the losers over there. It's awesome. So he calls in there and says, that's inaccurate information. Then why, Lue Elizondo, explain to us, why are booksellers from multiple different websites putting your book on their website with that description. You didn't put that there? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But here again from Stephen Greenstreet calling him out on that. Yes, exactly. His statement strangely doesn't address why multiple booksellers across the globe are already listing his book with a specific title, date, and description. Google Books states October, November 2023 as published dates. And so, I guess there's been a lot of false starts while Lue Elizondo figures out just how much can he lie while trying to sell his garbage book without getting into trouble for, false advertising. I do not believe that he legally can claim he ran a funded Pentagon UFO program for 10 years if he cannot prove that and sell a book. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I'd like to talk to a book publisher who can try to explain to me, like, just how far can you go lying in order to sell a book, right? I mean, can you really just make claims that are completely and totally provably factually accurate? Because according to the Pentagon, he had no assigned responsibilities within the Pentagon around UFOs. He admitted on his own ICIG complaint that it wasn't a program, it was an activity, essentially something he did in his spare time at the Pentagon. Those are two vastly different things. Running a $22 million official Pentagon UFO program for 10 years and performing an activity in your spare time looking up UFO shit at the Pentagon is two completely different things. One is an official Pentagon-funded program, and if you're the director of it, you'd be pretty high up in the food chain, right? He wasn't the director of it. He just made that up. So Lue Elizondo ran a Pentagon UFO program in the land of make-believe, and now he's going to try to sell a book based on the lies that he told the New York Times. And it's just amazing to me that if right after the New York Times article he had said, well, they got what I told them wrong, throw them under the bus, Leslie Kean and Ralph Blumenthal. If he had said, no, really, I just try to keep that effort going after it lost its funding, I did it as a volunteer, I'd have a lot more respect for him. But to continue to double down and pretend that he ran a Pentagon UFO program when he didn't, even trying to profit from that, remember that this brings up a lot more problems, because TTSA was soliciting public investor money while they were telling people that Lue Elizondo ran a $22 million funded Pentagon UFO program. That's going to be a problem. You're not allowed to lie to investors as you're soliciting public investment. That's illegal. So, and it's amazing to me that there's such a lack of consequences for some of these shady things that go on in the UFO community. And I get it. I guess government people have better things to do than, go through the lies of UFO grifters who are deceiving the public and I believe defrauding the public. But that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. And thanks to Art Levine, who showed me that original article. Art Levine, investigative journalist for the Washington Spectator, he asked what happened to the original publisher of Lue's book. Down a memory hole, now with the British publishing company, John Blake. Are Lue Elizondo's followers simply forgetting his previous claims? Why was he dropped from the original publishers? Is it because ATIP claims were not confirmed? Yeah, so interesting questions. And I think he's going to have to make a decision. Is he going to lie to sell that book and face possible more legal consequences? I don't know. I can't wait to see, but I have my own plans of what I intend to do. If he sells that book claiming that he ran a Pentagon UFO program for 10 years or whatever, I have a plan, and we'll see what happens, because I'm not, I'm just getting tired of people making false claims and filling their pockets with UFO dollars. If you want to fill your pockets with UFO dollars, good for you, but you better be able to prove your claims. You cannot just lie to go collect the UFO dollars. I think it's interesting that, his whole marketing plan was originally that he ran a Pentagon UFO program. Now the original publisher apparently dropped him, and he's going with some foreign publisher in England now. But he says that's not accurate. So he calls in to the UFO Con Squad show, which, by the way, nothing says credibility, Lue Elizondo, like calling into a show who literally has a paid and admitted paid government disinformation agent who drove somebody crazy, right, as a co-host. Nothing says credible like that, Lue Elizondo. Like calling into that show that attacks all your critics and went after people and doxed people and threatened people, right, in your name, right? We got to get those debunkers, right? It's so childish and stupid. It's ridiculous. But that is the world of the UFO clown show, and that's what you get. You get that's what we get here. It's definitely just, this is a UFO clown show. We've got a fake UFO program director. We've got a fake UFO whistleblower who doesn't have any evidence. And this is the best the UFO community can do. You know, and I get it. People get pissed off at me for clowning on these clowns, but I can't help it, right? And then there's all these factions too. I don't want to spend too much time on who else do we have here? Oh, we have Ross Coulthard, who's making more outrageous and stupid claims lately. We'll share some of that with you. Then we've got Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, who curiously sort of closed down their podcast for a while. Do you know why? Because they're doing the Cosmic Con Shuffle. Remember, they just got caught selling completely and totally fake stories. So now they got to shuffle away, wait a little while, and then shuffle back in with some new fake bullshit to sell people. They're concerned that people, they want people to forget that they just got caught again, like the clown show that they are, selling completely and totally fake UFOs in their new docuseries, and also got caught lying, claiming that Jeremy Corbell gets caught lying, claiming that he doesn't make money from UFOs. It's a great business. He said in his own docuseries that he doesn't make money from UFOs, right? And that has been pretty thoroughly debunked as fake. So if the guy can't even tell you the truth about whether he makes money from UFOs or not, I'm guessing that maybe we shouldn't trust him about anything else that he says, right? But we'll get to the Ross Coulthard next. So Ross Coulthard, who's previously been caught selling at least 5 completely and totally provably fake stories in recent months, is back with some new bullshit. You know, he's ready. He's ready to go.
I think you are going to see a lot more coverage. This year is going to be, and I know everybody rolls their eyes at this year is going to be a very interesting year. There are reasons why it's all going dark.
It's all going dark because Kirkpatrick busted their fake whistleblower having any evidence, and their 40 fake firsthand witnesses as having any evidence. That's why it's going dark. Now they're trying to figure out how they're going to continue the bluff, the big bluff. Oh, this big stuff is coming. Remember last year? Oh, 40 whistleblowers are all coming forward. It didn't happen. Grusch came forward, and now we've been waiting 262 days for his so-called 40 whistleblowers, but he can't tell us who they are. You know why? Because they're all wackadoos, and we know those wackadoos. Eric Davis, Gary Nolan, Lue Elizondo, all his wackadoo friends. That's who he interviewed, wackadoos.
The reasons are, firstly, yes, I am. I've made no secret of this. I'm talking to people who purport to be working inside the legacy crash retrieval reverse engineering program.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, because if there are legacy alien crash retrieval programs and they're so classified, like, I don't know, Grusch and other people have claimed, then even talking to a journalist would violate their security oaths and be illegal. So people are apparently risking their careers, their pensions, their paychecks to tell a disgraced journalist from Australia, who, by the way, won this year's Bent Spoon Award in Australia for the fakest stories of the year. Great. Yeah, those people are all telling national security secrets and highly classified material to a disgraced journalist from Australia who keeps getting caught selling provably fake stories. This sounds totally reasonable.
Yeah, the one that Dr. Kirkpatrick says doesn't exist.
Right.
The simple fact is those people have got a very clear message now from the Pentagon and the intelligence community that we don't have your back. That despite
Here comes the excuse for where all the whistleblowers went. Oh, they saw how our first whistleblower got treated with, scrutiny and investigation, and they all ran away because they fear the reprisals. This is going to be the excuse for where those 40 firsthand whistleblowers went. They have to have some excuse. They've been saying these people are coming out for a year now, right? Almost a year.
despite what Congress has very clearly laid out in legislation, that there should be no criticism, no attacks of people for coming forward about illegal programs.
Yeah, and by the way, there is whistleblower protection, so they can file under that and they will be fully protected. So where are they at, Ross? Or was Grusch and you just bluffing with a bunch of wackadoos that he talked to that convinced him that the government has aliens?
That have been concealed improperly from Congress. It's been made very, very clear by the Pentagon's person who they appointed to investigate UAPs that we are going to bully and intimidate you if you try and come forward.
Yes, asking you for evidence is bullying and intimidating. Asking you for evidence is apparently bullying and intimidating.
That's the very clear message and perception that I take from the way that Dr. Kirkpatrick has behaved himself in the last few weeks.
Yes, he said that they didn't have any evidence. That's bullying them. No, that's most likely a statement of fact. Why would he say they have no evidence if they indeed had evidence? All he said was he didn't see any evidence. That's bullying them. That's intimidating witnesses. You know, if you're going to come forward and make extraordinary claims like Dave Grusch has made, that the government has alien technology, the government has alien bodies or biologics, non-human, whatever you want to call it, then you better have some evidence to back up your claims. But so far, 262 days in, all we've gotten is stories from the same old wackadoos that were involved in the $22 million swindle at Skinwalker Ranch, the same wackadoos that were involved with TTSA, which has been described as a techno scam. Remember, they collected millions of dollars from investors, didn't do anything they promised, and they provably lied to investors while they were soliciting investor money. All those same people are all surrounding Grusch, who curiously has no evidence of his claims, just like they had no evidence of their claims previously.
All he's done is go out on a media rant, which is designed to intimidate people from feeling they cannot feel okay about coming forward.
I, for one, am glad if it does intimidate people that are just telling stories with no evidence from coming forward, then good. If you have no proof of your claims, then your stories are largely without any value, in my opinion.
I say it's not going to work, but I also urge patience from people.
Oh yeah, here's the excuse for why the 40 whistleblowers aren't coming forward. We're going to enter into a slow phase now, because Kirkpatrick just destroyed their grift.
Out there, I've actually had people threatening me, saying, "Tell all, reveal everything you know, or we're going to attack you." And I think, well, big fuck you. The simple fact
big
is,
words. The guy's running around telling everybody he knows where a giant spaceship is on Earth, but he can't tell us. And he's mad because people are demanding that he tells everybody where the giant spaceship is. It's so big.
This is methodical, plodding work. We're entering into the boring phase of investigation. It's checking sources.
Yeah. Did he check his sources that accused people of being child predators? No, he didn't check those sources. Did he check the source that said he had an alien ball? No, he didn't really check into that source. Did he check the source that told him that he had a patch from an alien reverse engineering program from Area 51? No, he didn't check that source. But now he's going to check his sources. And now he's claiming that he's talking to people who work directly in these reverse engineering alien programs. And they're all spilling the beans to him, a disgraced Australian journalist who keeps getting caught selling completely and totally fake stories. It all makes sense.
Verifying information, doing the homework, the very thing that, frankly, a lot of the critics say we never do.
We can prove that you never do it. We can prove that you never do it because you keep getting caught selling fake stories with fake sources.
It's not an entertainment, this. This is really serious. If this is true,
It's really serious.
Is true,
it's really serious.
The biggest story in human history.
If it's true, but you can and you won't prove it's true. You could prove it's true. Show us where the giant alien spaceship is. He won't.
If it's true, everybody from the president down are concealing knowledge of a non-human intelligence engaging with this planet. I happen to think it is true. And I'm having sources telling me this on a repeated, regular basis.
Yes, and your sources also told you that there was a huge ring of child predators running the British government. And that turned out to be completely and totally a fake story. But you ran with that one. And then you had people tell you that they had alien technology because they had a ball valve, right? A big ball bearing, a big metal ball bearing they claimed was some sort of alien drone or spaceship. But you didn't prove that was true. So that turns out to be fake. Then you get caught pushing the Patchgate fake story. That turned out to be fake. That wasn't true. You know, how many times are you going to sell a fake story before the bluff's not going to work anymore, Ross? You're going to need some real, verifiable evidence, or you can't keep coming here selling these fake stories. In my view, anyway, his credibility should be in the toilet by now. How many fake stories do we have to catch him selling before people say he doesn't? He's not really talking to these people, or he would name them, right?
And where we're at the moment is we're dancing a very delicate dance. We're trying to find ways for these people to safely bring that information forward.
Yeah, and again, there's whistleblower protection. They can safely bring this information forward and not have any reprisals. But they don't want to do that. Why is that?
And I can't reveal a great deal, but...
Oh, I know all this secret information, but I can't reveal it yet, right? The gatekeepers of disclosure that you hear about are these guys. Guys like Ross Coulthard, who knows where a giant alien spaceship is, but can't tell us. Guys like George Knapp, who knows where smoking gun proof of alien visitation on Earth is in the form of the mysterious alien element 115, but he can't show us that either, right?
But you are going to see some very interesting stuff coming forward in the next few months.
You're going to see some interesting stuff, very specific, right? It's so stupid. All of this stuff, it just gets dumber and dumber. That's why lately I just been calling it the clown show. Like, let's check in with the clown show, right? And see what the clown show's been up to lately. But it's interesting that the whole narrative from the last year is now gone. And now they're all doing the Cosmic Con shuffle, trying to figure out the new narrative that they'll be able to push without explaining what happened to the old narrative, that 40 plus whistleblowers were coming forward with firsthand knowledge and evidence of alien technology on Earth. What happened to that? And that's another thing. The reason that you know all these people are full of shit is because if they really had 40 firsthand witnesses of this with evidence, why are they talking about old busted fake UFO cases? Why are they talking about old busted fake UFO cases? And you just have to love it, right? And then, of course, why are you posting, if you've got all of this great information? Oh, by the way, I wasn't aware. We want to thank some kind and generous benefactors. High Speed Chase gifted 5 Truthseekers memberships. That's why you should hit that subscribe button. For those unaware, we have a members only section where you just get some extra goodies and a members badge. And people gift memberships all the time. And when that happens, YouTube just randomly gives them out to subscribers who are not yet members. So be sure that you smash the subscribe button. You can get a free membership. Look, we've got 10 of them. High Speed Chase with another 5 Truthseekers memberships. Thank you very much. High Speed Chase, who is also a member, thank you for that. It's threw $5 in our hat, says, sounds like some Wookiee spanking crap to me. I agree. And there's another 5 Truthseekers memberships. Thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. High Speed Chase has been the MVP of super chats and gifting memberships lately. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, and helping us to praise the cash. Hey, if Lue Elizondo can lie to everybody to sell a book, I can tell people the truth and still make a couple bucks. Praise the cash, bitches!
You're watching Truthseekers. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
Thank you, High Speed Chase. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. Gifting all these memberships. We love it. So that's 15 memberships up for grabs. Just be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you might randomly be given a YouTube membership here for free. So we appreciate that. And Wes H is commenting on all the Wookiee spanking going on. Yes, we're going to have to more clearly define what a Wookiee spanker is going forward and add it to our list of, our own terminology here, like the Cosmic Con Shuffle or the Super Duper Prover Maneuver, right? You got to love it. And so, interestingly, too, I have recently found out that, boy, Danny Sheehan has lost the script. He has gone full wackadoo. And this is why I call it a clown show, because for somebody to go on a public live stream and make claims like Danny Sheehan is making, it's just incredible. This is fair use. This is transformative work. We're educating the public. This is from UFO News Roundup. He found this, and I just thought this perfectly displays the clown show going on right now in the world of UFOs. And if you haven't heard this Danny Sheehan on this podcast, by the way, we might cover the whole thing. It's such a crazy ride. I think we're going to do that.
Meanwhile, Danny Sheehan has an amazing story to tell Danny Jones and his audience. It's an incredible story from Skinwalker Ranch. I love Danny Sheehan. He says a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's all true. I don't know what his sources are exactly, but he has been. His
sources are the land of make-believe. At least that has been my experience so far.
In the biz for a long time. He's the lawyer of Lue Elizondo, and he was the lawyer of John Mack. I think in the previous video yesterday, I incorrectly said he was the lawyer for David Grusch, but we all know the lawyer for David Grusch is the IG, or the former IG.
The former ICIG. Well, isn't it interesting, though, that Danny Sheehan 6 weeks ago said that Lue Elizondo's book would be out and available in 4 weeks? How does Lue Elizondo's own lawyer not know when his book is coming out? Why is Danny Sheehan making completely and totally factually inaccurate statements about his client's book release date? 6 weeks ago, Danny Sheehan said that the book would be out in 4 weeks. Where's the book, Danny Sheehan? Or are you full of shit? And why don't you go confer with your client before you go telling people about a book release date when there is no book release date so far? I just love all the mystery, right? These are disclosure and transparency advocates, and they can't even tell you the truth about when a book is coming out with transparency. You got to love it.
I just have Grusch on the brain. But yeah, Danny Sheehan, former lawyer of the late John Mack, and the lawyer for Lue Elizondo. Again, he's been in this business for a long time. He has a lot of great contacts and a lot of great information. This is a more current story about events at Skinwalker Ranch. So let's give a listen.
Oh, it's going to be good.
This kind of portal that was like at the ranch, and that this portal had opened, and one of their people had seen this person, a big, tall, 7 foot tall being, that had big kind of shaggy hair. It looked almost like a Yeti kind of character. And Colin told me all about it.
So there's a portal at Skinwalker Ranch, and a Bigfoot or a Yeti character walks out of the portal. Boy, this is pretty good. This is almost as good as the Smoking Dog Man story from George Knapp. It's almost as good. I wonder if the Bigfoot was smoking cigarettes too. I don't know. Let's see.
And so I went back out and was talking to Bigelow to see whether he wanted to do it, because what happened is Bigelow brought in a scientific team right away to try to see what it is that was going on here, to measure what was. And these two helicopters flew in. And landed and ordered the scientific team to get away, and they couldn't come.
So where were the helicopters from? Military? What were they? Did you check with military bases to confirm the presence of military helicopters, or is this just a story?
To where this event took place, and the scientists kept saying, no, we're here from Mr. Bigelow. He owns this place. And they said, they don't care. Get the hell out of here. They were American guys.
Black helicopters?
They were unmarked helicopters, but they were just regular jumpsuits, all black jumpsuits, no insignia on them, no names on them and anything, but they were American guys.
That's interesting. So a couple of helicopters land on private property and tell people to get off of private property. I'm already going to call bullshit on this story. Danny Sheehan has been telling some whoppers lately, including provably false statements like Lue Elizondo's book is going to be out in 4 weeks. That was 6 weeks ago. So this guy has a history, unfortunately, of telling tall tales that turn out to be fake. So if we can't even trust him to tell us the date that his own client's book is being released, are we really supposed to trust him about portals opening up and Bigfoot's coming out and some oppressive quasi-military force forcing people off of private property? I don't think so, but make your own choices. This is the clown show, and you got to choose which clowns to listen to, I guess.
He knew that they could recognize they were American military guys, and when the scientists kept trying to insist upon going in and setting up their equipment, they began to get beaten up by these guys and breaking their equipment and broke their cameras and scared the crap out.
Oh, so the Men in Black beat up a bunch of scientists. Great.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, yeah, and I was right there, like within 2 days of when this happened, of them beating up the scientists and stuff. And so originally he was so upset that Bigelow wanted to sue them and wanted John to bring his lawyer out to do something about this. But by the time we got there, just a couple of days later, he just was not going to do anything.
Okay, now that would have been a hell of a lawsuit, right? That would have been a juicy case.
This is so stupid.
Suing the government over a cover-up involving Bigfoot in a portal. I would like to see that play out in a court of law.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Could have been the
that would
lawyer.
be a great lawyer.
That would have been a hell of a
great
case,
lawsuit.
That would have been a hell of a case. A really amazing story, and I believe Danny, and I believe this is likely an incident that happened, and that sort.
Oh, geez, that's where I'm going to have to part ways with this show host. UFO News Roundup believes this story about portals opening up and Bigfoot's jumping out, and then an oppressive quasi-government Men in Black force showing up with black helicopters and beating up scientists. Seems pretty far-fetched to me, but what do I know? I'm just a spectator here at the UFO Clown Show. All right, so more to share. I also wanted to mention as well that remember that all of these people that were behind Grusch did all this in a coordinated effort. And according to Grusch, he has 40 firsthand witnesses with evidence of alien technology. But instead of trotting those people out, the UFO Griff Squad is trotting out 2-year-old videos that they never released with the same old claims being made. I was going to cover this whole interview because I think it's very interesting. This is Ross Coulthart and Bryce Zabel from Need to Know podcast. And what you need to know about Need to Know podcast is they sell bullshit. And they've been caught pushing provably fake stories multiple times in the past couple of years, completely and totally fake stories. And now they're trotting out a 2-year-old interview with Jeremy Corbell. Must be desperate for some kind of monetized content. They've got nothing. If they're trotting out 2-year-old interviews of Jeremy Corbell instead of these 40 whistleblowers, then I'm going to go out on a limb and say those whistleblowers are fake or don't exist, or they can't trot them out because they're known UFO wackadoos like Eric Davis, Hal Puthoff, Gary Nolan, Lue Elizondo. Those are the 40, right?
Do you believe that the United States and other governments in this world have recovered non-human technology?
Yeah, I don't have the luxury of disbelief about that. I am with high confidence.
He has high confidence, right? He has high confidence, but no evidence.
I can tell you that we have materials that we cannot replicate that appear to have been made somewhere else, and not just materials, but craft. And I've said it before, and I've got no problem saying it to you. Again, you can discard it as a belief, but it's an informed belief.
It's an informed belief. And he was informed by who? A convicted pimp fake scientist named Bob Lazar, who ran a whorehouse, never worked for the government, never was a real scientist. That's who he's getting his information from. And, I think it's worthy of note that Jeremy Corbell has been caught selling completely and totally 5, right? Is it 5? I don't know. How many completely and totally fake UFO stories has Jeremy Corbell been caught selling? But we're just supposed to take this. Trust me, bro. The government really has alien technology. It's informed speculation. And it was informed by a convicted pimp fake scientist who told me he worked at Area 51, even though there is ample and supportive evidence he never steps foot on Area 51, right? Because he was a fake scientist and his wife was a convicted murderer with strong ties to organized crime. They would not have let him anywhere near a secret base during the height of the Cold War. But hey, don't let facts and evidence get in the way of a great story you could sell. Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp have made perhaps millions of dollars pushing the false Bob Lazar fake story, which falls apart under the least little bit of scrutiny. But don't let that stop you from selling the story. Just leave out all that stuff that proves Bob Lazar is a fraud, and you can make some money on that guy. And that's what they did.
We do have vehicles and we do have materials that we don't know who made them. We don't know where they were from.
And by the way, this interview is from 2 years ago. So he's had 2 years to prove these claims as true and accurate, and he hasn't yet. What he has done is sell flares as a giant triangle spacecraft. What he has done is sell balloons as a jellyfish UFO. What he has done is lied in his own docuseries claiming he doesn't get paid for UFOs. What he has done is somehow skirted the law and been able to receive information from classified briefings without getting prosecuted somehow. Great, interesting. And remember, this is 2 years ago he's making these claims. He's making similar claims today, but still not prove. You've had 2 years to prove these things. When are you going to prove it instead of just say it with a trust me, bro, Jeremy Corbell?
What do you say to the people watching this right now who probably are uncomfortable with that idea?
Makes me uncomfortable.
Sure. But who just dismiss it out of hand? They're saying,
that's their loss.
Jeremy Corbell's just a tinfoil hat.
Oh, yeah. If you don't want to buy into my delusional fantasy world that's literally made from a house of cards built of lies, then that's your loss. If you don't want to believe a convicted pimp fake scientist when he says that the government has alien spacecraft, then that's your loss.
Crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Bullshit.
But don't listen. Can we say bullshit?
You can.
Oh, I love it.
He says it all the time.
Okay, great. Thank God. Okay. Well, look, I've never tried to convince anybody of anything in my life. I find that to be this uphill battle.
Oh, he's never tried to convince anybody that flares are a giant triangle spaceship. He's never tried to convince anybody that bokeh lens artifact is pyramid spaceships. He's never tried to convince anybody that a convicted pimp fake scientist worked on alien spacecraft. He spends his entire life trying to convince people of these things. The problem is that his evidence is so piss poor, stupid, and childish that all of his fake stories fall apart almost as soon as he publishes them. But he's not trying to convince anybody. Sure.
I believe, actually, that information and society's understanding of that information is a gradual process. If what I'm saying is false or incorrect, then I was wrong, and everybody can go on with their lives. If what I'm saying is accurate and correct, and that in fact, it's not just me saying it.
No, it's a bunch of other wackadoos that have equally no evidence.
If you don't trust your government, you won't trust if they say yes or no, right? But I do trust the people within my government that have publicly stated that this phenomenon is real.
So he trusts the people in the government that say the phenomenon is real, but he doesn't trust anybody in the government that doesn't agree with his alien, cult-like belief systems.
And that there are unknown craft of unknown origin that move within our restricted airspace.
And importantly, just this one point I want to make. They're intelligently controlled.
Yes.
Yeah, so drones are intelligently controlled too. Doesn't prove aliens.
Very important. This is not a matter of belief either. It
is a matter of belief. Unless you have evidence and proof of your beliefs being real, true, and accurate, it is a matter of beliefs. This guy doesn't even think about what he says before the bullshit comes spewing out of his mouth. Talk about verbal diarrhea. He is the king of verbal diarrhea.
Objects or these craft that just completely outpace what we have and have been doing so ever since we've had flight. That's the thing. It's been around.
And nobody could ever prove that, right? I love that. These things defy the laws of physics. These things outpace anything we have. Show us the proof of that. Or is this just a faith-based belief system?
For a while. These are under intelligent control. Now, who is the intelligence behind this? Is it an artificial intelligence like you'd see in a drone? Well, even drones have operators. So there is some entity behind this, an intelligent entity. Now, people like to throw out these terms.
I'm sure there was intelligent entities controlling those drones that he claimed were pyramid spaceships from the planet Xanadu. Intelligent control does not prove aliens. It proves that a device that's flying in the sky, someone is controlling.
I have no idea where UFOs are from. I have no idea.
He has no idea. Finally, a little bit of truth from the master of garbage peddling, Jeremy Corbell. And again, just to make a point again, I think it's great that they're claiming, all these people claimed a year ago that there's 40 whistleblowers, all with firsthand knowledge and evidence of alien technology, and they're all coming forward soon. And instead of showing us that, they're waxing poetic about, the philosophical implications of what if there's aliens here and all this other nonsense that means literally nothing, right? You got to love it. But I think that the grift took a big hit. And now what we're left with is them trying to pick up the pieces to figure out how they're going to keep this stuff going. Tiki71 with a kind of generous $3.70 says, immemorial to Ashton Gump's credibility. Yeah, we're going to touch on that tonight, but thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And if you're the same Tiki71, I think you are from Twitter, thank you for all the fun memes you've been posting, and thank you for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right. And we've got High Speed Chase gifting another 5 memberships. That means he has gifted 20 memberships today. So be sure to smash that subscribe button. You could win yourself a free membership as well. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support as well. High Speed Chase, the MVP of gifting memberships lately. Thank you for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
So I'm sorry, I have to refer to my clown show graphic here. We've talked about David Grusch. We've talked about Lue Elizondo's, the ridiculousness with his book. Why can't he just tell us a release date, right? I think it's interesting that, I mean, what is happening? What is happening there with that? Why are booksellers from around the world posting a certain book title with a certain book description and claiming a publish date, and Lue Elizondo saying that's not accurate? Are these booksellers just making it up? Who's the publisher of the book? When is the book going to be published, Lue Elizondo? Are you going to lie to market the book and still claim that you ran a Pentagon UFO program for 10 years, that you admitted in your own ICIG complaint wasn't a program, it was more like an activity? I've got a lot of questions. And I'm hopeful that maybe someday somebody will have the balls to ask him real questions like, what happened to the TTSA money? Why did you lie to investors? Why did you claim you were going to build a spaceship? Why did you do X, Y, or Z? But instead, we get the circle jerk. That's what we get. So we've talked about Lue Elizondo. Oh, Stephen Greer. Oh, this is lovely. You gotta love the Stephen Greer. Here's the clown show of Stephen Greer. All you have to do is just look up Stephen Greer on Twitter, and you will find an incredible assortment of bullshittery, the likes of which it's just wonderful. Again, it's the UFO clown show. And before we play this clip, he's going to talk about free energy here, I believe, right? And in this clip, he's talking about electromagnetic breakthroughs starting in the 1800s and pioneered by Nikola Tesla. Yeah, you gotta love it.
People forget the history of these sort of electromagnetic breakthroughs that began in the 1800s, early 1900s, and Nikola Tesla, the genius that he was, really had very detailed information on that then got exploited by covert programs.
If the information was so detailed, why hasn't anybody, people have been claiming that Nikola Tesla somehow cracked anti-gravity and he built anti-gravity craft and free energy devices, but no one's ever been able to prove that. But the UFO grifters love to throw Tesla in. It's like one of their prover maneuvers. You want to sound credible? Talk about Nikola Tesla and his research that was covered up and exploited by the deep state. But nobody ever proves anything. It's wonderful.
Way back then. And so that's how we started acquiring the ET vehicles in and after World War II, both in Europe and in the United States. Roswell was by no means the first.
So we've recovered ET spacecraft all over the world.
The only targeted downing of an extraterrestrial vehicle. So that's how far back it goes.
Great. So Greer, interestingly, I love this. He's being censored, he claims. A guy who I don't understand how he's claiming he's being censored, but this is the fun that you can have. You just go on Twitter and you just put Stephen Greer in the search bar, and I don't know, call it a sick form of entertainment for me. Like, let's see what kind of bullshit he's pushing now.
What's called a dead man trigger.
We covered this dead man's trigger he's going to talk about in this video. And it took 2 nights to get through. And essentially his dead man's trigger is blaming people because he collected $500,000 for a free energy device that he never delivered to the people who gave him the money, all those donators. So his dead man's trigger is largely blaming everybody else for why he never put out the free energy device that he collected $500,000 for. By the way, he later collected an additional $500,000 just to make a film about free energy. And he has collected collectively now $1 million for free energy and pushing free energy conspiracies. He has proven nothing. Zero. He has proven nothing from his free energy collections, which amount to more than $1 million US.
What's called a dead man trigger, which means something happens to me. There's information I'm holding that will hit the internet.
And we've been through that dead man's trigger. This is a huge bluff. His dead man's trigger is a joke. We went through it for 2 days. And it's essentially bad scientists ripped me off and they didn't produce the free energy device that I promised everybody after I gave them a little bit of that money.
And it'd be the end of this group. I'm actually better off alive than dead for them.
Oh, so dramatic. People are trying to kill Stephen Greer for grifting off of UFOs. Come on.
Because being alive, they can just marginalize me, defame me, call me names, blacklist me from media. How do you figure we have a free market economy if the most important technologies and scientific discoveries of the last 100 years have been kept off the market ruthlessly?
He's never proven that statement as well.
Some inventor invents some really cool energy generation device, and they're offered, here's $20 million by a corporate entity. The corporation buys it, puts it on a shelf. They've gotten rights to it, and it's never released. But that happens all the time with these technologies. You'll see all the different strategies that have been used over the last
a lot of claims, right? And no proof.
last 100 years to
Seems to be a theme with many of these people. Big claims, no proof.
hoover up like a vacuum cleaner all these science and technologies. Given that level of corruption, how can anyone claim that we have a truly free market economy if we're all slaves to oil?
Oh yeah, big bad oil. They're the problem. All right, I have some more to share from Dr. Stephen Greer. I could share with you 10 more videos of him saying fake nonsense and never proving anything, but you get the idea. Now, his latest offering, CE5 Contact and Consciousness Conference, July 26th to 28th in Temecula, California. Don't miss this rare opportunity to join a mass CE5 event under the stars with Dr. Stephen Greer and the team. And you remember at a previous CE5 event, he charged people money to attend, and then he showed them flares being dropped during a military exercise and claimed it was alien spaceships, right? And James, this is great. 1 second. Okay, I got it. He also claimed that people offered him $2 billion to stop talking about UFOs, right?
You know, Dr. Greer, you have covered so much.
Oh,
and
did I?
oh my God, you covered so much.
All right, we can unpack it.
We're going to get, because I am truly fascinated by your work. And we're going to get to much of this in as much detail as possible. But I also want to do it in a way that the not so smart guys like myself understand what you're saying.
Oh, you're plenty smart.
I want to go backwards with a couple of things before we move forward.
Sure.
President Clinton, he actually did an interview, and he was and I'm not sure if it was done with Larry King, but he was asked directly, "Do UFOs exist?" He said no, and he said it very definitively.
Now we're going to get Stephen Greer telling some lies about briefing Clinton. By the way, I have the paperwork from the Clinton Library, which just shows that Greer requested sort of a meeting with President Clinton and was declined. But he's claimed over and over again that he briefed President Clinton. That's not true. If it were true, there'd be a mention of that briefing in the Clinton Presidential Library. But all you get, if you ask the kind archivists at the Clinton Library to search for anything related to Stephen Greer, is basically a polite denial letter when Greer attempted to meet with the president.
Is his response, in your opinion, based on the fact that his life was in jeopardy?
He was ordered not to speak about it. Yes. Now, I'm here, actually, Saturday, I'm going to see a guy who's a very famous Hollywood figure who I can't name.
Oh, he can't name him.
Who has written up an affidavit about him being with Bill Clinton after Clinton left office with another big singer celebrity in a limo. And this celebrity asked Bill Clinton about this. He says, "Oh yeah, they exist." And he said, you know, go read the Day After Roswell, the book that Colonel Corso wrote.
The book that has been completely and totally debunked as largely false and full of bullshit. Somebody told Clinton to read that book. Great. And you got to admire Stephen Greer's ability to just pull a fake story out of nowhere. Somebody mentions Bill Clinton. Suddenly, he's got a very famous friend that was in a limo with Bill Clinton, and he's got a story to share about Bill Clinton and UFOs. Very convenient.
About retrieving these extraterrestrial objects from in 1945 in Roswell. But he also said that George H.W. Bush had waved him off and told him, this is none of your business, butt out if you know it's good for you. And by the way, Jimmy Carter had the same thing happen. President Carter was way before my time, but I was actually with him at Obama's inauguration. But
did you hear that? He was with Jimmy Carter at Obama's inauguration. You know, sometimes this guy bluffs so big. Like, we can go to the videos of Obama's inauguration and see if Dr. Stephen Greer is sitting next to former President Jimmy Carter. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, no, he's not. So the amount of bullshit that this guy spews, he just said he was with Jimmy Carter at President Obama's inauguration. I mean, does he not know that we could go to the video and see if he's sitting next to Jimmy Carter at Obama's inauguration? But he's always got some slimy excuse if people do fact check him, right? Oh, well, I was at the inauguration after party with Jimmy Carter, you know, not at the actual inauguration, or some other bullshit he spews.
He had a sighting, and he ran on a platform saying he was going to disclose these UFO secrets in 1976. At that time,
by the way, Jimmy Carter's sighting has been definitively debunked, even to the satisfaction of Jimmy Carter, as a weather experiment.
George H.W. Bush came to him also and said, you're not going to find out anything about this, and you're not going to be told anything about it. So there are certain people who've been involved on a very high committee. It's international, dealing with this. George H.W. Bush was one of those figures. Before him, people like Paul Mellon, Admiral Bobby Ray Inman, in the 90s, now, former Vice President Dick Cheney, very involved. But
you got to blame Cheney.
The people that are in that system that come up to a certain level of politics, they're not going to share that information with other people. And if someone gets into the presidency or a key position in the Senate who doesn't know, they're not going to know.
Oh,
so
let
me give you the criteria about whether you're in the need to know or not. It's whether you came.
Yeah, I've never. I'm sorry, but I've never believed these stories that the president has information withheld from him. And there's a very simple reason for that. The president has the ability to declassify any program he wants and get full access to it. So these arguments fall apart, especially if you know anybody that knows anything about the presidency, their powers, and history. But don't let things like facts and evidence get in the way of a good bullshit story. Oh, no, there's 27 levels of top secret above the level of the president, and all this other nonsense that we've heard for decades from these clowns that never prove it. Clown
to the system, and you're willing to cooperate with the agenda of the secrecy. If it sounds like if they'll do a psychological profile, I call it a soul biopsy. You know, I'm a doctor, so but where they actually look at your values, and if they think that you will not go along with that agenda, they won't tell you anything. I don't care if you're the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So now, if you're someone who would go along with that agenda, they'll read you into some of it or brief you on some of it. The military term for being briefed or and included in a classified project is read in. But so it isn't based on your rank. This is one of the things I had to learn very early because.
Okay, so if you're willing to go along with the whole cover-up agenda, we'll tell you about the aliens. But if you're not, we won't tell you about the aliens. I don't know what I think about this. How do they know for sure? What, couldn't you just pretend that you're going to go along with the cover-up to get the goodies and then release them all? According to his scenario here, yeah, you could just pretend, okay, I'll go along with the cover-up, then you get the goodies and release them all. That means that the whole cover-up would probably be over pretty quickly, but hey, what do I know?
And that was Clinton's problem. They didn't trust that if he was read in, that he wouldn't go along with the agenda. So they basically waved him off, threatened him, and gave him, opportunities after he left the presidency. So he became friends with George H.W. Bush and made a lot of money in speaking fees in the oil emirates in the Mideast. And, look, that's how the game is played. The head of Army and this guy, General Stubblebine, in 92, after we had this encounter on the beach, he personally.
And here he's citing a source that is dead. One thing you'll notice about Dr. Greer here is that he loves to cite dead sources and tell stories involving things that dead people told him. And this is an often used tactic in the UFO Clown Show. It's sort of, they think it's foolproof. Like, I'll just say this dead person told me this stuff so that nobody can check if the person actually told me this or not. It's very deceptive.
He offered me $2 billion if I would be quiet.
Oh, there we go.
We had this encounter on
this is the claim that he makes, that the government offered him $2 billion to keep his mouth shut. But he wouldn't take the $2 billion because he's just too much of an ethical person to do so. The same guy that's running around pushing a dead baby as an alien has ethics too good to accept $2 billion. Sure, Dr. Greer.
Beach. He personally offered me $2 billion if I would be quiet and work with his operation on this. And that was a serious offer. That was when $1 billion was a lot of money. It was a lot of money.
Hold
now,
on. $1 billion in 2023 is a lot of money. You were offered $2 billion.
Yep. And he went behind my back to my wife, tried to convince her for me to accept it. And I said, no, thank you. I'm not going to be an asset. And
you got to love when a grifter's going to include his wife as a prover maneuver. Ask my wife. Yeah, they definitely offered me $2 billion. Could you imagine if somebody got to Greer's wife and tried to verify that? You better tell him that we were offered $2 billion, bitch. Don't screw up the grift.
I don't care about your money.
Okay,
I've never cared about threats. I've never cared. It's not that I don't care about my personal security. I care about the mission of what we need to do on this planet first. And I've never cared about money.
Yeah, the guy who claims he never cared about money, we'll see something about that. If you don't care about money, why don't you hold these CE5 events for free? Why do you charge exorbitant amounts of money for people to go and summon alien spaceships with you if you don't care about money, right? If you don't care about money, why do you keep crowdfunding to the tune of $500,000 or $1 million each film that you make? By the way, his films do not cost $500,000 or $1 million to make. Go ask any documentary filmmaker to look at any of his films and ask them if that film cost $500,000 or $1 million to make. No, they don't. That's more than my opinion, however. That's the opinion of just about any experienced documentary filmmaker. Bob Kiviat, the Alien Autopsy producer and documentary filmmaker and producer of Unsolved Mysteries, chimed in on that and said, no, his films don't cost that much to make. But he collects the $500,000 or $1 million in crowdfunding, but he doesn't care about money.
I mean, no one goes into emergency medicine for the money, by the way. You're better off owning a yogurt shop. You make more money. But I think that, honestly, or being a rapper or whatever. But honestly, I mean, to me, it's like, that's the kind of nonsense that goes on. There are these quid pro quo corrupt efforts. And I think this is one of the big tests also for people in Washington is.
Yeah. So here, Stephen Greer claiming that he was offered $2 billion, but he turned it down because he doesn't care at all about money, which begs the question, then why are his events so incredibly expensive? Here's one of the latest. 3-day conference at Callaway Vineyard and Winery. Join Dr. Stephen Greer, founder of the Disclosure Project and the CE5 contact protocols, for an extraordinary weekend delving into consciousness, meditation, extraterrestrial technology, remote viewing techniques, and more. Don't miss this rare opportunity to join a mass CE5 event under the stars with Dr. Greer and the team on Saturday and Sunday evening. VIP ticket holders will enjoy a special reception Friday evening, along with a gift bag and Q&A time with Dr. Stephen Greer. Oh, so you got to get a VIP ticket or you're not allowed to talk to him at the event, I guess, or meet him, right? But he doesn't care about money. But you need that upsell. You got to put out the extra money to go to this special reception. Can't make it in person? Attend the conference via a live webinar. Recordings of each session will also be available if you cannot watch the event live. We're going to have Introduction to Making Contact and the Science of Consciousness We're going to have Sanskrit puja and meditation. I'm not really sure what Sanskrit puja is. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. And then on Saturday, you get experienced CE5 ambassadors who will discuss all aspects of how to set up your contact group, from choosing the best location to what equipment to have and how to use it. There will be time for Q&A. Break for lunch. Then he's going to talk for an hour and a half, understanding the consciousness and contacts, understanding consciousness and contact and how they work together, the technologies used by ET to make contact, and more. And a whole lot more bullshit. I love, let's just scroll down to where the money is. Oh, look at, wonderful. All right, so to attend the event is $700. And that includes general admission, includes entry into all the lectures and CE5 Under the Stars events on Saturday and Sunday. Attendees will also have access to the recorded sessions for 2 months following the conference. Very generous of him. A platform processing fee will be added automatically into the final ticket price. So it's not $6.99. There's another upcharge, because he doesn't care about money, but he's going to charge you a platform processing fee on top of $700 to go to his bullshit where he summons aliens. And remember, he has previously claimed to be summoning alien spaceships that were provably 100% flares dropped during a military exercise. And he has previously claimed to summon extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial beings that turned out to be a cactus off in the distance in the desert, right? That's been proven conclusively. So you're going to pay $700 to a clown who shows people flares and claims they're alien spaceship, and a clown who shows people cactuses and claims that those are alien extraterrestrials off in the distance when it's a cactus. Great. Webinar attendance is $99. And then the VIP experience, oh, you got to love it. You got to, it's an extra $1,000 if you want the Stephen Greer VIP experience. The VIP experience includes a special reception and Q&A time with Dr. Greer on Friday evening, entry to all the lectures with preferred seating, and the CE5 Under the Stars events on Saturday and Sunday. Also included is a special gift bag. Attendees will have access to the recorded sessions for 3 months following the conference. VIP tickets are limited to the first 100 registrants. Wow. So you can only be a VIP. Only the first 100 people who sign up are going to be VIP. You know, it's limited, right? And you got to pay the platform processing fee, right? VIP tickets are limited to the first 100 registrants. You got to love that. So, you do the math, but I'll do it for you. If we take $1,700 and then we times that by 100, just for the VIP people, he's going to make $170,000. Well, he's going to gross that just on the VIP people, right? It doesn't say how many the general admission is limited to, but if we take the $170,000, let's just say 100 regular attendees, right? Yeah, that would be another $70,000. So $70,000 plus $170,000, if you're keeping score here, Dr. Stephen Greer is probably going to make or gross $240,000 from one event that he runs. But you stupid people can get in my inbox and tell me that there's no money in UFOs and that these people aren't making millions of dollars. Well, we can demonstrate that he's taking in, or has the likelihood of taking in, $240,000. And that's without the webinar people. How many people can sign up for the webinar? What if 1,000 people sign up for $99? How much is that? Add it up. Do some math. Can we all do third grade math? Because if we can verifiably show that people are making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in this clown show selling bullshit. And in Greer's case, he has provably been caught lying how many times now? Selling fake shit how many times now? Using fake documents, selling people fake documents. There's fake documents in his books. I have one of them here. I have this old CE5. Oh, no, I have this old Disclosure Project book, and it's got fake documents in it, and he was selling that. Welcome to the clown show, where you too can make $250,000 telling people that you have the superpowered ability to summon spaceships and aliens at will, right? And let's just think about this for a minute. If you really could summon alien spaceships at will and alien extraterrestrial visitors at will, would you be charging people $1,700 to see it? Or would you go to CNN or MSNBC or NBC or CBS or even Fox News or somebody and say, you know, get your cameras, I'm going to summon alien spaceships and prove that this is all real and not a fantasy land of bullshittery? No, we can't do it that way. Just have events and charge people $1,700 or $699 to attend. Have events and charge people $99 to watch a bunch of boomers and old people. And by the way, have you ever looked at it? It's like the geriatric squad at his events. I don't know why that is, but it's mostly older people all sitting there in the desert or someplace trying to summon alien spaceships, right? It's just so, this is why I say it's a clown show. Welcome to the clown show. It's so ridiculous. You almost have to laugh. I have to laugh to keep myself from crying. $240,000 for one event. It's just incredible to me. It's amazing that this guy who's been caught selling fake shit so many times can still gather up enough stupid people to collect $250,000 from one event that he runs. By the way, he runs these 3-4 times a year, I think. So you do the math. How much is Greer making selling this bullshit, right? And by the way, what if you have a valid press pass? Can you attend the event and report on it? I'd like to know that. Or you're not allowed in unless you have $1,700 or at least $699. You better have 700. We got to get the 700 out of you at least, right? And there's various reports from people who felt ripped off after going to one of these events where he's showing people nonsense claiming it's alien spaceships, whether it's flares or, you know, satellites passing over or, you know, just lights in the sky that could be anything. And we once had a person here early on in our show's history that attended a Greer event who swore, it's still in our archive somewhere, that Greer and his team were using drones to fake things. That comes from a source that was here on my show several times. I'm not making that claim, he did, but take from that what you will. I would think that if you're making $250,000, yeah, maybe you invest in somebody to like release some balloons or with some flares on them, or you know, put some drones up in the sky, flashing lights, so you can claim that people are getting their money's worth. Who knows? And by the way, I'm not claiming he did that. I'm saying other people have claimed that he does that. $250,000 from one event. You gotta love it. Now, the last contestant, I think, right? Is it the last contestant? There's one last contestant on our UFO clown show here. Oh, I know who it is. Here we go. It is Ashton from the MH370 things. You know, and I'll tell you what, that show we did, certainly, you know, once in a while we get to do a show that I think actually changes the narrative a little bit. So Ashton Forbes has been pushing his UFO clown show, claiming that an entire airliner got teleported out of the sky by the United States government, according to him, with secret technology that these fake videos somehow confirms, right? Fake videos don't confirm hidden technology. They confirm that somebody faked a video. And by the way, I'm hopeful. I got to reach out to him still. I'm going to try to interview the guy who faked those videos, who, by the way, has shown to at least to the satisfaction of any rational, reasonable person, that those videos are fake and he faked them. Ashton blocked that person. And isn't it interesting what we get if you go against the narrative? And I'm going to talk for a moment about this. You know, when we critically covered TTSA, we got attacked by a bunch of brand new, nameless, faceless UFO accounts, you know, on Twitter. And then we find out later that Lue Elizondo was using sock accounts to attack his critics. This is what the cult of UFO does. If they cannot refute the evidence that you're sharing, that they're full of shit and pushing fake, provably fake things as real, then they attack you viciously on Twitter. And I think it's great that Ashton is such a pussy that he has a fake Twitter account. I can't prove it's him, but there's some real indications that it's him, because this fake account only attacks Ashton's critics. That's all that account does on Twitter. It doesn't really do anything else. Oh, once in a while it posts anti-vax, anti-mask stuff a lot, like, oh, Ashton has done, remember? Yeah, and there's a fake account, and that fake account is called Jay. It's the imaginary gnome. And we can see, if you look at his replies, all this account does is attack people that have been critical of Ashton Forbes' fake videos. He's attacking Aerotech Space. He's attacking McWest. He's attacking me, right? I love it. And posting anti-vax stuff, you know. And by the way, we don't even get into that. I tell people, consult your healthcare professional, make the best choice for you, but don't listen to, a bunch of wackadoos like this on the internet. And here he is attacking McWest. Here he is attacking me for I made a post about my cabin and trying to get some things finished. He's in here attacking me for no reason, right? And so this is what these people do. People like Ashton, people aren't that stupid. Everybody knows that account is you. Why don't you grow a set of balls and come to me with your real name and face if you want to slag me, right? Why do you got to use a fake account? And by the way, I'm just saying, I think it's a fake account, because all this account does is attack your critics all day long on Twitter, nonstop. And I don't think anybody cares about you that much to do that for you all day long. And we can see he's going after Area 503. He goes after, he's going after me here. Great, right? And then here's Ashton Forbes. This is a great one. The MH3 videos are scientifically accurate. And here's his source, Bob Grenier. Bob Grenier, right? And he's using that guy as a source. By the way, Ashton, do you do this, Mr. Research, right? Did you research Bob Grenier before you said that he somehow co-signs the fake videos as being scientifically accurate? Because this person, Bob Grenier, has been involved
fully on subject.
He's a pseudoscience joke, and he has been involved in co-signing completely and totally fraudulent, fake, free energy people and devices. That's who your proof is. A pseudoscience wackadoo. But Ashton is posting this like this validates those videos are real. No real or reputable scientist would use fake CGI created videos as their proof of anything. But maybe, just maybe, a wackadoo quack who has co-signed fake nonsense free energy bullshit would, right? And by the way, this person loves GoFundMes. And while we're on that subject, Ashton sued his local government after running a GoFundMe or a crowdfunded campaign and collecting, what was it, Ashton, $9,000 or $10,000? Where did that money go? What did you do with $9,000 or $10,000 after you filed a lawsuit that failed miserably at the local level of your government? Did you keep a spreadsheet of what you did with all that money that you got from telling people that you were going to sue the government with that $10,000? You got $9,000 or $10,000. Did you keep a spreadsheet of your legal expenses? Where did all that $9,000 or $10,000 go? I hope you can account for all of that, right? And by the way, somebody added up, and his super chats are like 5,000 or 10,000, or was it 5,000, right? So you've collected $5,000 to tell people that fake videos are real videos. And by the way, there is a price to be paid for speaking out against these bullshitters. And I paid that price over Mikey Horn. They all use these same tactics. Send in a whole bunch of fake accounts on Twitter to just harass, intimidate, and humiliate that person until they shut up about our grift. It happened with Mikey Horn. It happened to me with TTSA and Lue Elizondo. They all do this because they're pussies, right? Mikey Horn had an army of like 70 or 80 different Twitter accounts, bot accounts that would come at me, hurling all kinds of insults. Why? Because we busted the fake Billy Meyer, the ridiculous fake Billy Meyer bullshit pictures and videos made out of trash cans lids, right? So these people want to make you pay if you start fucking up their grift. And I got to tell you, Ashton, I've had much more vicious people that decided to make me an enemy. I've had much more intelligent and resourceful people with greater resources than you that have decided to make an enemy. They didn't shut me up, but you think that your little lonely fake account that you have to go under because you have no balls, right? You think that is going to you're just going to keep insulting me with a fake account until I shut up and stop ruining your fake MH370 videos, whatever you're running. No, I'm not going to shut up. I didn't shut up when it happened to me the last couple of times, and those people had a lot more fake accounts than you. And, you know, it gets to this level of childishness. Like, oh, you can't attack our evidence, so you'll go under a fake account and attack me personally. And by the way, I love that one of the things that he is doing is attacking my appearance. He's done it on both the fake account that he uses and on his real account, right? You can call me whatever you like, Matrix boy, grandma's boy. The videos are still fake. Attacking my appearance doesn't change the fact that those videos are 100% fake. To the reasonable satisfaction of anybody that's not an idiot, anybody that's actually looked at the evidence, right? But this is the land of make-believe, where somehow a guy who's pushing a grift that those videos are real can just say, the debunks have been debunked, even though he doesn't have any experience in visual effects. By the way, I want to apologize. I kept saying virtual effects on our previous broadcast. Yes, it's visual effects. And by the way, I have forgotten some things that were interesting. But before we get to that, I just wanted to display this guy is running around attacking people's appearances when he looks like that. Yeah, I think it's great. Let's take a sample. First, I want to show you what happened when he got scammed, just because it's funny. But this person, this female skeptic, went after him, making fun of him because of this situation with the fake videos, right? Where he's telling skeptics, beware. And by the way, Ashton, if you were honest, you wouldn't take this stuff down. Why did you take it down?
Debunker, yeah, we win. We win.
We win.
Debunkers are on suicide watch.
The debunkers are on suicide watch because he's going to get the smoking gun proof and evidence. And by the way, Ashton, if I were you and you really have a top secret clearance, I think that you would not want to make more enemies and you would learn to just shut the fuck up and take your, take the medicine, dude. Just take the medicine, deal with it. Those videos are fake because here we have verifiable evidence and proof that a man who claims to have top secret access is trying to buy what he thinks is classified information so that he can release that classified information and prove his fake theories about these fake videos are true. And shut up all those nasty negativists, those damn debunkers. Listen to them. Debunkers are on suicide watch.
Debunkers are on suicide watch right now.
I don't know. I'm not.
Debunkers are straight up on suicide
I don't
watch.
consider myself a debunker. I consider myself a truth seeker. But, you know, that's, I'm sure he would call me a debunker.
Yeah, we're going to permanently destroy the credibility of the Corridor Crew for the rest of their lives. and the podcasters that came at us.
Oh, we're going to permanently destroy those people. Listen to the vitriol and the venom, right? Is this, do you need any more evidence that this guy is running a clown show? He can't take any criticism. He's got to block everybody that shows him evidence that those videos are fake. And I'll show you something else that's really fun. He actually, in his own Discord, will block people that cast doubt on the videos. If you were in Ashton's Discord, I think this is from his Discord. He can correct me if it's from someplace else. But if you were actually in his Discord, I believe it is, here's what you get. Then you can leave. Go tell them in the other Discord. If you cast doubt on the videos, you will be banned in accordance with the stated rules. And I love the projection that Ashton is suffering from, because he's saying things like, don't let other people tell you what you can believe. Yet, if you cast doubt on those videos being real, he bans you. So this is an echo chamber. This is akin to cult-like behavior. Cults have to control the information that the cult members are allowed to consume, which is why, for example, in Scientology, you're not allowed to read anything about Scientology on the internet. They don't want you reading all of that information about the truth behind that cult. Interesting. If you cast doubt on these videos, you will be banned. If this man's, evidence was so strong, he wouldn't need to do that. But his evidence is piss poor, like citing fake Marvel visual effects heads or citing fake Maverick Top Gun visual effects heads as proof or evidence, right? It's really laughable. His evidence is so piss poor, it cannot withstand any debate, or you're going to get banned. And here he is, again, a man who claims he has top secret clearance was on a public live stream trying to buy what he believed was classified information so they could shut up those debunkers and prove them all wrong and get them on suicide watch.
Really destroy their credibility.
While he was live streaming on his own.
And by the way, we're going to share a little more from this YouTube creator. She basically destroys his whole narrative, and then he comes after her with personal attacks and attacking her appearance.
On channel, the dastardly puzzle was solved. The password was the name of the file with an extra digit added, and he readied himself to become the greatest UFO researcher of all time. Here's what happened.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is him thinking that he got classified information that would prove those videos are 100% real, and he can finally shut up all his critics and become the UFO overlord.
Holy shit! Holy shit! MQ-1C Gray Eagle! Holy shit! Holy shit! Yes! Oh my god, I'm gonna get killed. Holy shit!
And by the way, he was scammed by somebody out of, I believe, there's various reports. Some people are saying he was scammed out of $10,000. Others are saying, no, it was $3,000 in Bitcoin. But whatever it is, on a public live stream, this man who claims to have top secret clearance with the United States government was buying what he believed to be classified information so that he could share it. You see the problem with that, Ashton? You know, if you have top secret clearance, you can't be caught in public trying to buy and release classified information. That could be a problem for your clearances. Just saying. And by the way, I just want to put on the record that I don't condone or support anybody going after Ashton's job or even his clearance. But, you know, it has to be stated, the ridiculousness of this clown show. If you are a person that is working on anything for the government that requires top secret clearance, you can't be on a public live stream trying to buy classified information and release it to your followers while you're collecting super chats. That's a problem for you.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Whoa, look, we gotta look at the other one. Oh, the password's cracked. The password was cracked. Holy shit.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's a stereoscopic drone video or a stereoscopic satellite. Holy shit.
So he thinks he just bought classified information that would prove that those MH370 videos came from a classified real government source. But what he got was not quite what he expected.
Chat, take screenshots, chat. Chat, take screenshots.
They don't need to take screenshots because what he got in that RAR file was worthless.
I'm going to put the password in the chat.
And then he slowly realizes that what he got was a bunch of nonsense for his $3,000. He got scammed. And I know a lot of people did like a victory lap when he got scammed. I'm not that kind of person. I feel bad that he believed so strongly in this delusional fake conspiracy that he was willing to spend money, not just spend money, but literally he is risking his own clearance by being, you know, trying to buy classified information to release it to the public on a public live stream. And I get it. He's since taken this down, but people captured it and it's still out there on the internet, like here. And it's slowly dawning on him that he got scammed. What is it that you bought, Ashton? You bought nonsense.
Yeah, the file was just a declassified manual for a drone. You can find it if you Google the name of the drone. It's the first result. So he's down $3,000, but of course he's not out, not yet. No, he just deleted all of those live streams about the scam and forged ahead, pretending that he never fell for it. Not that hard. Of course, you know, the internet is forever. So if you'd like to see clips from the live streams, check the links in my transcript linked below, as always, on my Patreon.
Oh, yeah. So she grabbed all those. And I think it's great. You know, you can't erase that history. So if we couple his willingness to buy and release classified information, you know, I think is very troubling. And that was Rebecca Watson on YouTube at bsky.social.whynot. I'm going to share my screen once again, because after this woman makes this video sort of dunking on him, she tweeted this: update, Ashton Forbes is in my YouTube comments accusing me of defamation. I think that's great. He says, if you could not defame me in YouTube videos, I would appreciate it. I hope you get the mental help you need. Making fun of people who were scammed by felonies is a low. Be better, Rebecca. And she says, hi, Ashton, please let me know what I said that was defamatory so I could correct ASAP. Thanks. Is it because I called you a rude bowl of pudding? Oh, it's just wonderful, right? It's just wonderful. He's got to tell people that they need mental help because they don't believe in his false conspiracy land bullshit. It's wonderful. And then, of course, there's one other thing that I would like to share, and this is also related to this Rebecca Bryant. You know, this is the venom from this guy, the vitriol. You know, I don't know. You know, I think that as a public person, you really got to be careful when you're addressing criticism from a woman to not come off as sexist or incel-like. But with Ashton, boy, he didn't like her pointing out that the videos are fake. And boy, he didn't like her, skeptically ripping apart his false fake narrative. So he goes on a live stream to his followers and he says this shit.
UFO guy gets publicly embarrassed repeatedly. So we've got some kind of loser react streamer right off the bat, right?
Right away with the personal attacks, right? Doesn't even address any of the evidence she showed. Just personally attack her. She's a loser. She's a loser. But it gets worse or better, I guess, depending on whether you're Ashton or one of the people that think that he is a toxic clown, right?
She's posting our content, which we can see here.
That's called fair use. Everybody's allowed to post your content. We're posting it here. And by the way, don't dare try to copyright claim me. We have cited fair use here. We're educating the public and critiquing the videos that we are sharing. And I have very strong legal defense letters for fair use standing by should anybody attempt to falsely copyright claim me.
Right. Which we literally did debunk this. So already we're talking about CNN brain. Right, CNN brain.
Yes, this is a common trope from Ashton. Anybody that disagrees with him has CNN brain.
Mixed with Redditor brain.
Oh, and Redditor brain too.
And we can just tell based on her hair and how she conducts herself that most likely she's unlovable. And
we can tell by her hair that she's unlovable. She's unlovable because she doesn't buy into your bullshit conspiracy.
And that nobody will ever care about her in her life.
Nobody will ever care about her in her life. Boy, is that some projection, right? And, I just am fascinated by a guy who looks like that, a guy who looks like this, attacking people's appearance. He does it constantly. He constantly attacks people's appearance. Looking like that. It's fascinating to me. Like, I would think if you look like a Forrest Gump dork nerd, you would not have the balls to attack other people's appearances. But, this is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. Logic has no meaning in this, right? Can't attack the evidence, so attack their appearance. Call them unlovable.
Now we see her, trying to dunk on us. I'm sure she's making up butthole jokes here at this point because that's what a pathetic person she is. Now let's keep going on. Oh, that's not enough. Oh, look, she also has to try to dunk on the fact that we had a felony crime committed against us. Felony crime committed against us. Oh, that's a good thing that we should make fun of, right? Right, Rebecca? Make fun of people that have felonies? Okay. Well, let's take a look at you, Rebecca. Let's go ahead and investigate what we find if we look up Rebecca. What do you guys think?
I'm sorry, he had the balls to attack this girl for what? For having the audacity to, say that the videos were fake. Attacking her appearance when he looks like this? It's amazing. Like, how can a guy that looks like that be attacking anybody's appearance? And by the way, just to be clear, even though Ashton has attacked my appearance, Ashton has, with both his fake Twitter account, because he doesn't have the balls to say things, with his real account. He saves the most toxic stuff for the fake account, I guess, so that he can deny, oh, I didn't say that about you. This random, brand new, nameless, faceless Twitter account who spends all day attacking my critics said that. People aren't stupid. Ashton, people know that fake Twitter account is you, because nobody cares about you enough to spend all day attacking your critics. Nobody cares about you enough to do that. That's you, Ashton. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. because we can track and see that all that account does is attack Ashton's critics all day long. Does that sound familiar? You know? And this is why the toxic tactics of some of these people, like Mikey Horn from the Billy Meyer cult, or Lue Elizondo from the Dave Grusch fake TTSA group op, that's why those things are so dangerous, because idiots like Ashton learn that that's the way to deal with critics. Humiliate them, dig up dirt if you can, attack them, attack their appearance, right? Aggravate them, right? Annoy them, pester them all day on Twitter. No, I'm not going to be harassed by you, Ashton. I'm not going to be harassed by you or your fake Twitter account. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm certainly not going to be silenced. Those videos are fake. And by the way, I'm working on a write-up for something. And in that write-up, we're going to have 10 visual effects recognized experts and veterans of visual effects and CGI, who are all going to look at these videos, these 2 videos that Ashton has been pushing, and declare that they're fake, and here's why. So in a very short order, Ashton is going to have to somehow do the mental gymnastics to prove that 10 visual effects experts, sorry, I almost did it again, that 10 visual effects experts that have looked at these videos and declared them fake are all wrong, but he, who has 0 visual effects experience, training, or education, is right, and the videos are real. We've taken away 2 pillars of his fake talking points, right? The fake talking points that he used when these debunks started coming out. And what were those fake talking points? Oh no, the head of Marvel VFX said that these videos can't be faked. Oh no, the head of Top Gun Maverick VFX, the supervisor of Top Gun Maverick VFX, the head visual effects person, said that those videos are definitely real. Well, then it turns out that we find out that these are just fake anonymous people saying that they're the head of Marvel VFX, saying that they're the Top Gun Maverick VFX person on Reddit. And he did not verify that those people really are who they say they are. And by the way, we've gotten the names of those people, so we're going to do it for you. We're going to go to those people and find out if that's them that you have been using as a fake proof of your fake videos for a year now, right? Every time debunks come up, when he's doing these UFO circle jerk shows, he pulls that out. Well, somebody on Reddit said that they were the head of Marvel Top Gun VFX, and these videos are real, and those debunks are wrong. Well, now you can't do that. And we're going to have our write-up with 10, count them, 10, on the record, veteran VFX experts who will all give us on the record statements that those 2 videos are 100% fake, and here's why. So I guess Ashton is retiring this just in time because he can't use fake evidence anymore, because now people are aware that he's used fake evidence as fake talking points. He's not going to be able to continue the charade any longer. And, you know, I get it. People want to believe this guy, but at what cost? You know, and I've still got some people come, oh, those recreations weren't 100% pixel by pixel accurate. They never will be. But what we could say is we've got 2 visual effects experts that created the reproductions. Well, one was admittedly just a hobbyist, and he was able to do the recreation that Ashton said couldn't be done in under 6 months in a few hours. Then we've got a verified visual effects expert who also did a recreation in a few hours. And both of those people said the videos are fake, and here's why. And here's why I'm able to recreate them. And people are making ridiculous requests like, no, you got to show the assets. One of them put the assets publicly available. You could see every bit of what he used to recreate these fake videos. So that talking point falls out. You know, at some point, you got to go, okay, if we're going to have, okay, so we've got the 2 recreators. We've got 4 people, I believe, from Corridor Crew that are recognized industry experts in visual effects, all saying the videos are fake. They agree with each other, and here's why the videos are fake. So that's 6. I have another person who is familiar with visual effects that has looked at the videos, and we've also got Joe Lancaster, who's a visual effects expert who claims that he created the fake videos that Ashton has been pushing as real for a year. And what did Joe Lancaster came to Ashton and said, the videos are fake. I made them. Here's how I made them. And what did Ashton do? Block them. He had to, so that his followers couldn't see that information. Just like he will block you if you cast doubt on the videos in his Discord. It's ridiculous. The man is living in an echo chamber. Also accused me of something like, comes out against one-way conversations, then has a one-way conversation. We invited him to our stream. Instead of coming on our stream and addressing all of the evidence that the videos are fake, instead what he did is went to his safe space with his followers, with no critics, because all the critics get blocked. So he's got a safe space echo chamber there, and cried about our stream instead of coming on our stream and defending it, right? So here's a sample of another one of the visual effects experts that we'll be citing in our write-up. I'm just going to read part of this. Other question is the cloud's parallax and the different camera planes that exist. No way a satellite image would result in seeing the descent of the plane. Planes fly on lower altitudes than satellites are placed. The greatest evidence to me comes with the shock wave. Anyone can see that it matches directly a stock product that anyone can get, and it was already used by many in the visual effects industry. The patterns are the same, and on something like smoke or air displacement, a pattern never repeats. And yes, this can be replicated pretty easily with a not too fancy home studio. All it takes is a 3D software and a software like After Effects. So I rest my case. These videos are fake as shit. Hope I have helped. And by the way, this is a person with a great deal of experience. He comes from civil engineering. He worked in the field for a few years, more related to mechanics of ThyssenKrupp Group, whatever that is. But he says, since my passion was art and animation, I graduated 10 years ago with a degree in animation and visual effects. And I have been working on visual effects since then. I mostly do technical and publicity videos, but I like to do a little bit of everything. So now we've got 7 or 8 visual effects experts all chiming in saying that the videos are fake. I mean, at some point, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get to 10, and then I'll do my write-up, and I'll quote everybody. I'm going to list their education and levels of experience in visual effects. But then, of course, Ashton will just say, no, we debunked those experts, even though we don't have the education, the experience to actually do anything in visual effects, especially to the point of refuting 20-year veterans in visual effects. But hey, the videos are still real because we want them to be. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Your desire for something to be true or real will never make it so. Evidence does. And what we get is just, things are just lacking here. It's just ridiculous. So I don't know what else to say except, Ashton, stop attacking me with a fake, Twitter account that everybody knows is you. Everybody knows that's you. So anything that account says is going to get attributed to you because we all know it's you. You can play your game, right? Hide behind a fake Twitter account like a coward. That's a cowardly move, right? And as far as him attacking my appearance, I'm not gonna respond in kind, right? I'm not gonna also attack his appearance, even though there's plenty of material there to do so. I don't need to do that. I'll do my write-up with 10 visual effects experts and veterans that all say the videos are fake and here's why. And he can go about his, trying to convince people that he's right and 10 visual effects experts are completely wrong. all that have, 20 years experience and actually have an education in visual effects, of which he has no years experience and no education in visual effects. But hey, this is Clown World. Welcome to Clown World. I'm not sure, but I think High Speed Chase gifted another 5 memberships. So we'll take some comments and questions from the live chat. I thought I had some other stuff to share, but I think that will do it. This is the clown show of UFOs. You got people making $500,000, selling people tickets to see spaceships in the sky that they summon. We've got Lue Elizondo, who can't even figure out when his book is coming out or what the title is, or it's just a clown show. And that's what I've been thinking of lately. This is a circus. Welcome to the circus. Get your ticket. I just hope that ticket does not cost you $1,700 like it does to go see one of Greer's events. But you too can get your ticket to the clown show. It's the clown show that never ends, because these guys always need money. They're always coming up with all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah, we'll take some comments and questions. Old School Comp Sci says, Cambion thinks everything is fake. It's not all fake, even if 90% of it is. Well, no, I try to keep an open mind, but I look at the available evidence, quite like we did with this MH370 situation. And Ashton can say the preponderance of the evidence proves the videos are real all he wants. The preponderance of the evidence is with the visual effects experts, all of which say those videos are fake, and here's why. And after all, we've got the guy who took the pictures of the clouds, and he's got receipts for his plane ticket where he took those pictures of the clouds. It's just so stupid and childish and ridiculous. But, back to Ashton slagging me. He can slag me all he wants. By the way, that was another one of those great busts, like, oh, great, you got this many views, or you only got this many likes. Hey, Ashton, I didn't build an entire following based on lies and nonsense and fake evidence like you did. So I'll take my honestly earned views or honestly earned likes and honestly earned subscribers and followers, while you take the dirt road, the shit road, and do anything, including lying about evidence you don't have, including claiming to debunk things when you have no visual effects experience or education to do so. You can slag me all you want. Congratulations, you got a much bigger following than me that you got lying to people. Congratulations. And using fake evidence. We haven't used fake evidence here. We do good research. We're known for accuracy in our reporting. I have a proven track record of good, accurate reporting here. What's your track record? Attacking women, right? That's your track record. Ad hominem attacks, going after your critics because they prove the videos are fake. That's your track record. So this argument about followers, I don't care. You can say whatever you want, right? And isn't it great that some guy who got, 80,000 followers lying to people is going to slag people who have less followers than him but got their followers by doing a good, accurate reporting job and telling people the truth for years on end? It's just sad. And actually, most of me feel sorry for this guy, because he was a little invisible nerd that nobody cared about or ever paid any attention to. He comes across this BS, and suddenly everybody's paying attention to him. But it's a bubble, Ashton, and the bubble's bursting. You created this whole following based on bullshit. What do you think's going to happen when the bullshit bubble bursts and you can no longer push this fake hoax up that hill? The followers are going to leave you unless you come up with fresh bullshit, and I'm betting he will, right? But we'll see what happens. But most of me feel sorry for him, because he's going to lose his whole following, because the whole MH370 garbage conspiracy, and that's another reason I feel sorry for him. He spent a year of his life on this. A year of your life. Imagine, we get, if we're lucky, we get 365 days times 70. He spent an entire 365 days of his life, or nearly so, right? Isn't he coming up on the year anniversary of this? Yeah. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. He wasted a year of his life pushing completely and totally fake videos that, by the way, were fake in 2014. They're still fake in 2024. People have had 10 years to prove those videos are real, and they haven't. So, sorry, not sorry. Ashton wasted a year of his life on this shit. And, and by the way, if he wanted to do a real and valuable thing, then find the plane. Go find the plane. That would be a real and valuable thing. Find the crash location of the plane. Give the family members, some peace and closure instead of re-victimizing them, just like Alex Jones re-victimized the victims of that school shooting, pushing fake conspiracy theories. But I love it. None of the family members complain, so it's just okay to make thousands of dollars pushing a fake conspiracy theory where 239 people tragically lost their lives, right? With fake videos. It's wonderful. We want to thank Tales of the Sinus Voyage for a kind and generous $5. Says, honestly, Steven's the man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for helping us. Longtime show supporter, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Thanks for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right. So I will take some comments and questions from the live chat. Please put them in all capital letters. 1 second. I saw a few other good comments here. Now I've lost them. I was too far back. Just call me Anon. Thanks for being a member. Says, I bet Grusch wouldn't even be seen in the same room as Ashton. Well, it's pretty bad when Joe Rogan will platform such bullshitters as Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, Bob Lazar, and Grusch, but won't platform him. That's how ridiculously fake his shit is. It's worse than Grusch. It's worse than Corbell. It's worse than a fake convicted pimp, fake scientist. That's how bad it is. What? Why don't you get a hobby? He's just going to start spamming? No, you won't. I don't think the mods will let you do that. But questions or comments for me, please put them in all capital letters. Jeff Garvey, Steven, did you debunk Goofon's haunted spoon? I didn't know he had another fake hoax, but I probably could. I don't know. Somebody email me the link. If you want me to do that, I will. She's trying to save you, right? Randy says the family should sue Ashton for scamming off their loss. Could they sue Ashton for that? Well, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, but in the United States, you can pretty much sue anybody for anything. And if they feel that they have been, damaged by him, certainly they could. I mean, Alex Jones lost what? Hundreds of millions of dollars in that judgment against him. I don't remember how much it was. Stephen Smith, thanks for being a member, says, have you prepared for the Space Messiah? Avi Loeb hath written it. No, I'm not prepared at all. Thoughts on alien scientists? I like Jeremy. I've been friendly with him for a long time. And by the way, I don't. There seems to be this sort of attacks coming at me as if I attacked people who platformed this Ashton, and no, I didn't. I know that when he was on Alien Scientist did some pushback and said there's other possibilities. These videos could be fake or whatever. But other shows just had him on 5 times and just let him spew his bullshit. And interestingly, those are some of the shows coming after me, right? And then calling me, disparaging me, like, oh, I'm calling Ashton a grifter. I don't believe that I ever called Ashton a grifter. If I did, I apologize. I think he, it's obvious that he's very passionate about this, but the videos are fake. Therefore, no matter how much shit that you talk about, no matter how much bull you pile on top of these fake videos, now there's this whole thing like he's going to move into experimental secret government technology that he claims that the videos prove. No, fake videos don't prove anything. So you can pile whatever BS you want on top of fake videos. They're still fake videos. They were fake in 2014. They're fake in 2024. They will always be fake videos. But it is what it is. Why Fool said, Arden used to really pick on me, but seems like she is coming back. Be nice, right? I really don't care what certain people say about me, right? Why not a haunted knife or fork? Oh, man. Yeah, so questions or comments for me, please put them in all capital letters, right? Ashton still hasn't gotten superpowers yet. Yeah, well, at least he's a little more credible than David Wilcock, but not by much. Hi, Hank, my eggs are bigger than your forehead. Oh, great. All right, well, I think we've done our due diligence. We want to thank all of you kind and generous benefactors, but I have one set of people to still thank, and that would be you kind and generous PayPal pledgers. Instructions are in the description of the video. And by the way, I just wanted to mention that our content is now and will forever and always be free. We have a Patreon that's $1 and a channel membership that's $5, or you could throw a couple of bucks at us with a super chat or PayPal pledge. Instructions in the video. However, I don't like putting things behind a paywall, so everybody knows this. I say it all the time. If you'd like to get those extra goodies and you don't have the $1 or the $5, you just email me, and I put you on a special list and send them to you anyway. So anybody using the grifter word with me can suck a dick. And additionally, I don't use the show money for any of my household bills, household expenses, car bills, medical bills, groceries, children's expenses, any of that. It only is used for the show. Anything we need here for the show, whether it's sets or lighting or microphones or whatever, furniture, computers, comes out of the till here. I don't use any of it for personal expenses. And yes, I do have spreadsheets because my wife is a corporate accountant and she's a stickler. So she makes me, I have to, if I buy push pins for $1.99, I have to put it on the goddamn spreadsheet because I need to push pins to hold these things up. It's got to go on the spreadsheet. So interesting. And I love that argument, right? I love that argument. Well, you're a grifter too, Stephen, because your show takes money. We have a proven track record of busting scams and scammers here. We have a proven track record of accurate reporting. That has some value. And by the way, we're just a viewer-supported show, much like PBS. PBS is viewer-supported, but you don't have to give PBS any money. You can just consume whatever content PBS makes, right? I really like Frontline. So I give them a little bit of money every year. But it's not required. You don't have to give us any money. All of our content is now and will forever be free. If you don't have the $1 or the $5 for the extra content that we put on Patreon or the members section, by the way, it's the same content, just a couple extra goodies a month, just email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. I'll add you to the special list and give you the same links. Well, it's actually a different link, but it's the same content. We want to thank initials LM for kind and generous $5 PayPal pledge. Says the hardest working show host on YouTube. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Initials LM. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. We have initials MB with a kind and generous $2 PayPal pledge. And we have initials CH. Remember to add a note and give us your chat room user ID. So I'm just using initials because I don't think people want me calling out their real names when we do these thank you shout outs. But thank you, initial CH, for a kind and generous $10 PayPal pledge. Very kind and generous of all you PayPal pledgers. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. And initials RC with a kind and generous $10 PayPal pledge. Says from Richard Crawley, congrats on 10,000 subscribers. And we have from Mr. Fish, making me laugh at them grifters in 2024, a kind and generous $5 PayPal pledge. So thank you all for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
We appreciate all you kind and generous benefactors, you Twitch subscribers, you super chatters, you Patreon people, you YouTube channel members, PayPal pledgers. We thank all of you for your kindness and generosity and support. And we thank Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can cover that expense now. Tales of the Sonic Voyage with a kind and generous $2. He says for the Pushpin Fund. Yes, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, helping us to praise the cash. Now I can afford those push pins without, problems from my wife. But I do have to still put it on the spreadsheet, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. But thank you for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right, so we have Steph with a kind and generous, or Steph, I'm sorry, says, hi, Stephen, hope you're doing well, from Stephanie in the Willows. Yeah, Steph used to be a frequent guest on our show. Hope you're doing well, Steph. Good to see you. Nice to see you. I'll have to send you a message. We'll get caught up, see what you've been up to, right? But thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for our look at the UFO Clown Show. It just keeps rolling on, friends. The UFO Clown Show rolls on, right? And just when you think it can't get any stupider, it does. Isn't that fun? That's probably what keeps me plugged in and interested. Yeah, but I'm happy to announce that I'm trying to stick to once a week do a show that has nothing to do with UFOs. But I do have another installment of Murder in UFO Land, the series. For those unaware, we've done 2 episodes of a series that I call Murder in UFO Land, which are sad stories about people who get so deep in the rabbit hole that they end up killing somebody. And in my research, I also found we could do a whole series called Suicide in UFO Land. Do you know how many people get too wrapped up in this shit and unalive themselves? It's really scary. But we will, I'll be debuting that new episode of Murder in UFO Land, which is kind of a mix of UFOs and true crime. People really enjoyed those first 2 installments of that series. I've been trying to do the 3rd one forever. I just never get to it, but I've gotten all the videos for that broadcast pre-produced. We'll be doing that soon. And I've got one more live show for you for the week. So please be sure to follow me on Twitter at Stephen Cambian. We post all the shows there. You can follow me on Facebook. If I keep trying to get rid of some of the friends, it's a 5K limit. Otherwise, just follow us on the Truthseekers page on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram at Truthseekers Show. And be sure that you like, subscribe, and share these videos. It really, really does help. So we have done our due diligence, friends, covering the clown show that is UFOs. I've got one more live show for you. I will be announcing that on my Twitter, so be sure to follow me on Twitter at Stephen Cambian. You can also join our Discord. Maybe Arden or somebody can post the link. So if you like these live chats with like-minded, strange and unusual people into these strange and esoteric topics, you could do it 24/7 on our Discord server. We've got all different sections. And also, be sure to check out our website. It's truthseekershow.com. From there, you can get all our latest audio or video episodes, whatever format you prefer. And if you're listening in audio podcast land, let me remind you that we love you people listening in audio podcast land, but please do go on over to YouTube and click on the search bar, the little magnifying glass. Put in one word, Truth Seekers. You'll see me, the strange guy with sunglasses, pop up. Go there, smash the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you're welcome to come here and be a part of the tapings of the live broadcast, which eventually become the audio podcast the next day. We thank all of you for your support. Yeah, I'll be back soon, but for tonight, that's all I got for you. So until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Cambian. Good night, and God bless all of you, especially all of you UFO clowns that I covered. I will pray that all of you learn to do something better to make money than this nonsense. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash, raise.
We grifters, 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 we grifters.
Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words, folks. Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words, folks.
I'm an intel guy. 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 I'm an intel guy.
We grifters, 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 we grifters.
Multiple whistleblowers.
Lue Elizondo.
Multiple whistleblowers.
Lue Elizondo.
Multiple whistleblowers.
Lue Elizondo.
Multiple whistleblowers.
Lue Elizondo.
We grifters, we grifters.
Remember those words.
We grifters, we grifters.
Remember those words.
We grifters, we grifters.
Say yes.
We grifters, we grifters.
Say yes.
We grifters, we grifters.
Say yes.
We grifters, we grifters.
Say yes. Say yes.
Lue Elizondo.
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 Say yes.
Lue Elizondo. No credible evidence of extraterrestrial activity.